All right, safety folks, welcome back for another deep dive.
Glad to be here.
You know us, we love to take a close look at the regs and help you understand what OSHA really wants.
Yeah, we're going to break it down.
Exactly. So today we're presented by Safety One Source.
Our favorite.
And we are diving into scaffold safety training.
Huge topic.
It is, and specifically OSHA Standard 1926.454.
454.
Yes, so that one's all about training requirements for scaffolds.
And it's important.
Super important because a well-trained workforce,
That's the foundation
of it all.
of a safe scaffold operation.
Absolutely. And OSHA actually mandates different types of scaffold safety training depending on a worker's role on the site.
Which makes sense when you think about it.
Yeah, we're going to break down those different types and who needs what.
Let's get into it.
Let's do it. So why is 1926.454 so important?
Well, this isn't just about paperwork. This is about preventing those serious accidents and fatalities.
Yeah, and we all know those can happen when scaffolds aren't used correctly. So the standard, it outlines two main categories of training.
Yeah, that's right.
Employees that are working on scaffolds.
Right.
And then those who are erecting, dismantling, or inspecting them.
Yeah, you've got your workers, and then you've got your erectors, your dismantlers, your competent person.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Totally different hazards they're facing.
Yeah, so for those working on scaffolds,
Yeah.
what are some of the key things that they need to be trained on?
So hazard recognition is huge electrical hazards. You've got fall hazards, falling objects.
Mm-hmm.
They need to know how to spot those, how to mitigate them.
Right.
It's all about using the scaffold correctly, handling materials correctly.
So it's not just about their own personal safety on the scaffold.
No.
But understanding how the whole thing functions.
Yeah, knowing the capacity of the scaffold,
Right.
knowing where to place materials,
Absolutely.
making sure everything's tied off properly, all that.
And OSHA gets super specific about all of that in Subpart L.
Exactly. 1926, Subpart L, all the scaffold requirements.
Yeah. So I imagine that's like a must read for anybody involved with scaffolds.
Absolutely. That and 1926.454, that's where your bread and butter is.
Okay. So then for those who are building the scaffolds or managing them,
Right, the competent person.
what are some of the things that they absolutely need to be trained on?
I mean, they need to know everything about that scaffold. The design, the load limits, the intended use, and then procedures, safe procedures for putting it up, taking it down, moving it, operating it, repairing it, inspecting it, maintaining it.
That's a lot.
It is a lot of responsibility.
Yeah. It sounds like it, but I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, you're baiting the foundation for everybody else's safety.
Right. Exactly.
No room for error.
Nope. And one thing that I feel like gets overlooked sometimes is retraining.
Yeah, it's not a one and done.
No.
This isn't like you take your initial training and you're good to go forever.
You're set.
You've got to keep up with it.
Right.
OSHA has some pretty specific situations where retraining is mandatory.
Let's hear it.
So if there's a change at the worksite that presents a new hazard,
Okay.
changes in the type of scaffold being used on the equipment,
Right.
even if an employee's work is showing that they haven't really retained the training.
Right. They're making mistakes or
Exactly.
they're not following procedures.
Yeah, any indication that that training hasn't stuck.
Yeah.
They need to be retrained.
So retraining is really about staying ahead of the curve.
It is. It's about making sure that everyone has the most up-to-date knowledge.
Yeah. And making sure that the training really sticks.
Yeah, because you can sit through a training, but can you actually apply it
Right. Exactly.
on the job?
So listeners, I want you to think about this. Have there been any changes on your sites that might warrant retraining
Good question.
for your team?
Yeah.
And have you gone beyond just the minimum requirements to create a culture where scaffold safety is a priority?
Yeah, continuous learning. That's the key.
Absolutely. Well, I want to give a big thanks to Safety One Source for sponsoring this deep dive into scaffold safety training.
Thanks, Safety One Source.
They have a ton of great resources and training programs to support you on your safety journey.
Check them out.
And as always, stay safe out there.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.